The more inconvenient the goal is, the easier it is to make excuses not to work on it. There is one other factor that I haven't mentioned that's kind of like the trump card though, and that is motivation. When I talk about motivation, I'm not talking about the coach that's yelling at you not to eat any more Doritos. Hey everyone, welcome back to Modern Mindset. During one of my workouts this week, I had an interesting thought, and it brought up a question in my head that I wanted to discuss today. Why is it so common that people find motivation to try a new goal, but then give up so easily? This made me look at my own life and my own goals that I've struggled with and things I've fallen off on, and try to come up with an answer to why it seems that I flake out and a lot of other people do a lot of the times. One example of that is going to be my weight loss journey that I started about 2 years ago. I'm kind of going to analyze some of the things that I've fallen off on and the struggles I've had and stuff like that, but more on that in 1 second. Because some simpler examples are stuff that I've tried to do personal projects, personal websites, some contraptions in my shed which now live there permanently and probably won't ever come back. All of these things are things I was super motivated about at the moment. So trying to build a new website seems very interesting, but stuff that I just kind of lost interest in over time. And that's what brings us back to my weight loss journey and the reason why it's so interesting. It's a goal that's actively being pursued, but at the same time still seeing those struggles at the moment that show that kind of battle between giving up and continuing to go forward towards that goal you originally set. Because I can see this internal struggle still happening during this goal because I'm kind of happy with where I'm at, but at the same time I still want to pursue this goal that I set out originally. And this analysis of why I'm such a flake is going to be where this video really focuses on going forward. But before that, if you're enjoying today's video, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. So back to my weight loss journey and why I feel like my struggles also correlates with a lot of people's struggles with trying to achieve their goal. So let's start simple with a happiness graph, so to speak. That's what this is. I don't know how well this is gonna come out on camera, but we're just gonna go. So to start, let's say at my heaviest was when I was at my saddest, and when I was at my happiest was when I was at my lightest, so to speak. So the initial idea was that as you lose weight, you become happier. And that held true for a little while, but it isn't exactly a one-to-one translation like it shows in this graph. And this held true at the beginning because the dramatic effect of changing diet and exercise routine had immediate effect and showed results right away, which improved my overall satisfaction or happiness, so to speak. So now I'm gonna draw the graph of what actually happened, and it's pretty obvious though. Whenever you're having results that are going in the way you want, you're obviously going to get happier, or you're going to be more confident with it because you're having that immediate gratification, so to speak. But as time went on and I started to lose more and more weight, it became harder and harder to get those kind of immediate results. So you started to hit this kind of plateau of sorts, which I'm going to represent here. And what's even worse is that once you start plateauing, you start questioning whether or not the work is even worth it. So this goal now is losing its value because you don't really have that retrospect thought of oh, I've lost 75 pounds. You're thinking, oh, I still haven't lost 5 pounds in the last 3 months or something like that, where you almost start losing your happiness levels, even though you've come really far and you're starting to get closer and closer to your original goal. And this plateauing effect right here and this little downward edge deserves its own video, so I'm not gonna get too much deeper into it, but this is kind of the representation of how this goal and the lifespan of what it's had and what it's represented in some of the situations. Based off my 25 years of short life, I think that the two main aspects that control whether or not a goal is achieved is time and effort. In relation to time, the more time it takes for you to achieve a goal, the more likely you are to lose motivation or interest in trying to achieve it. Effort relates to the amount of work it takes in order to achieve that goal. So do you have to commit an hour a week or an hour a day in order to achieve this goal? Related to effort, convenience also plays a big part, because how much effort you have to put in just to start trying to work on that goal. One example of this is poker for me, because I actually enjoy the actual strategic aspects of poker and trying to beat people with worse hands and stuff along those lines. That's all not really needed, but the idea is that I have to go to a casino in order to play poker, or I have to get into a group that wants to play poker, and that all takes extra time and effort, and I have to drive an hour to get to a casino, or I have to pre-plan this with a group in order to actually work on it. So I'm much less likely to try to keep diving into poker because it's so inconvenient sometimes. The more inconvenient the goal is, the easier it is to make excuses not to work on it. There is one other factor that I haven't mentioned that's kind of like the trump card though, and that is motivation. When I talk about motivation, I'm not talking about the coach that's yelling at you not to eat any more Doritos. When I speak on motivation, I'm talking about the internal voice that's trying to tell you why you want to do this, why you want to achieve this goal. Are you motivated by external factors? Are you motivated motivated because someone's telling you to do it? Or are you motivated to try to look like someone? Or you want to get things that your friends have? Stuff like that. That's an external force, an external motivator. Or are you motivated by an internal purpose? Say you're trying to be healthier, you're trying to lose weight, but it's for an internal reason, just so you can have a better life overall. What I've noticed both in my life and my own goals is that if you're being externally motivated, you're much less likely to go beyond the reasonable measures in order to achieve a goal. So that's kind of with coaching. Say a coach is trying to externally motivate his players to run faster. Well, if they don't want to run faster, they're only going to run as far as they can. But you find people who are internally motivated that have this next level gear where they're able to just go beyond reasonable measures in order to achieve that goal. People who are internally motivated can achieve some crazy things, and that's kind of the struggle I'm going with now back to the weight loss journey. Whenever I first started, I was just trying to be healthier, and I was tired of just not being able to walk up and down stairs without being out of breath. That internal purpose or the internal goal was very strong at first. I'm at this point now where I'm healthy and active, and I'm really not having those kind of struggles anymore, where now I'm almost complacent in a way. So this internal motivation has kind of died down for me a little bit because I'm already at the point where I'm happy in a lot of ways. So like, I had to go and look for a new internal purpose in order to push myself further than I have before. And that's the game we have to play if we want to try to continue to pursue our goals and really achieve them. That's where I'm gonna wrap this one up. If you're still around, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time on Modern Mindset.